Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to our Thursday live stream with VNCE Da Nang. I'm so happy to see parents, friends from both Vietnam and around the world joining us tonight. So every week we explore how art and cultures inspire children and how families can learn together through creativity. For anyone new, my name is Juan, founder of VNCE, and currently live in United States, a mom of 2 years old daughter. It's even pushing me harder to run this nonprofit children gallery at my hometown, Da Nang, PNPR for Children Gallery. So Da Nang is where I grew up. Last week we celebrated the big festival, Moon Festival, and the Russian Teacher Day somehow is crossed in the same day, and beautiful moments of gratitude and light, of course. So tonight we are traveling even further back in time to one of the most fascinating culture in the history, the ancient Greek. When we think about Greeks, many of us imagine tall marble columns, beautiful vases, and of course a powerful story of gods and heroes like Zeus, Athena, and a lot of other names. So sorry if I pronounce those names in different way, but that's in my Vietnamese accent. So these aren't just an old legends. They are stories that continue to shape imagination for kids. And of course, art, and even the way we teach children about life. And this Sunday at Janome, or our children gallery PMP, our workshop for kids will bring this ancient world to life through art. We were painting Greek patterns, decorating faces, and introducing the mythologies in playful, hands-on way. And in part two, Gulya also will share more about what your children can experience, and together with Gulya, we explore why pattern and design are so timeless and perfect for children to discover. So yes, first of all, Gulya, can you introduce yourself, please?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Gulya. I'm an art teacher and curator from BNP Art Gallery for Children in Da Nang City, Vietnam. And every Sunday, I'm here for you and your children, hosting art classes for making art together and new discoveries in art, cultural exchange, and for growing inspiration and joy of art in our kids.
Really nice. Thank you so much. So can you tell more about the workshop on this Sundays? Because I know like we choose like a Greek. Now we learn about Greek art. So why ancient Greek matters, or we can talk more about today's. We also will learn about what the children will learn from culture far away and long ago as well. And of course, that's all thanks to Gulya bring up with all this kind of idea and themes for the workshop. So would you mind to tell me more about this workshop on Sunday?
For this Sunday, I choose topic Greek ancient art, and we already have this topic more about history of art, and it was ancient Egyptian art. And why I choose this kind of topic? Because it's beginning of human art, of history of human art, and Greek patterns and columns are considered timeless and accessible for children to explore in art. There are several reasons, because simplicity and repetition. Greek patterns often feature geometric shapes and repetitive motifs, and making them easy for children to understand and replicate. And their repetitive nature can help them develop their fine motor skills and pattern recognition. And columns have a straightforward, recognizable structure, cylinder shapes with distinct capitals and bases that children can easily observe and draw. And this simplicity makes them approachable for young artists. And Greek art and architecture are foundational to Western culture and offering very rich inspiration while being visually distinct, and their classical beauty and symmetry appeal to children's sense of order and harmony. And I think that exploring Greek patterns and columns introduces children to concept of symmetry, proportion, and design principles. It's also interesting to explore more.
Yes. You say as a more like a foundation, the special when we're talking about like architectures, it's a more everything in Western cultures. So it seems like very huge and very rough topic because when you're talking about history, it always create a depth inside. So I'm just wonder like how you can make it like kind of easy for kids to digest these informations because you say it will for early age. So can you more like kind of specific in what kind of group of age that kids can attend and how you can make them like even like a smaller for the kid to easy observe or digest the informations of this topic.
Yeah, I always try to adapt all information to even young ages, and I prepare references, pictures, and show and try to explain in very simple way. And then I prepare templates. For example, it will be like a template of ways. We will make a collage with very small already. I will prepare everything before, and we will make collage. Try to repeat all the design and plots and motifs from ancient Greek vases. And they of course can add something from themselves. It's also okay, but I will advise during the process how to make really close like ancient artists made it.
That would be interesting because now you try to let the kid learn how we can combine between the Asian art and Greek art in the same time as well. So, what kind of material that you just say because you discussing a lot with patterns, so maybe you use like pens, crayons, and then you also talk about collage. So, would you mind to tell us more about the materials that you will use?
Yeah, we really like this technique, and when we can add it, we add it and we use it because if there will be really young kids, they prefer maybe using scissors, glue. It's something new for them than markers and pencils and crayons, and I really like to offer them mix of techniques. It's really nice. It makes the imagination, maybe the thinking about how to make an artwork interesting. They have more wide thoughts about how they can make it, and that's why I usually offer mixed technique, make collage and add some drawings. And I will prepare colorful paper strips, and then I also make it to really small pieces, and it will be like mosaic and from paper. And I already prepare before templates for them, and I think it will be easy to repeat, and then we can draw a little bit around if they want.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting because you want to start again with like telling them the story and bring out some certain value of the story before we starting anything. And then we also reuse a lot of things, like we also discuss about repetitions from the pattern. So it's very nice to know that you are not only giving the new information, you also like try to remind them or what kind of skills or previous workshop what you already did in that workshop, and that really nice point that you bring them out. So again, so why do you think like Greek patterns and columns are so timeless and easy for children to explore in art? Because you're also talking like like in architecture, and that's very important in architectures for the columns and the pattern, and you repeat the word pattern several times. So yeah, so what is you think that it would be easy for kids to explore more?
Yeah, because I prepare a lot of reference and try to explain small details on it. I try to pay attention to these moments like simplicity and repetition and structural forms and um, yeah, the aesthetic qualities of Greek art, it's usually balance, harmony, elegance, and universally appreciated, making them a timeless subject that resonates across different ages and cultures. And the combination of simplicity, structure, and cultural significance make Greek patterns and columns an ideal and engaging starting point for children in art exploration.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, we learned and we talked before. When you create a pattern, you have to repeat it. It's about repetition, and I think maybe it's not only about repetition at this moment. We're talking about the rhythm, right? So at certain point, you repeat it, you create yourself the rhythm on that, and this would be like a spot on the Greek designs have a natural flow, and that children can easily flow and repeat it. And when they already learn the concept, that would be more easier for them to approach. So maybe that's a nice way that Julia just talked with us about the idea why she think that those will be easy for our children, because yes, it's also like the kids starting to learn their mother tongue. They're not writing it down. They listen to it, they get in the flow, and they create their own sentences. And who care about grammar, right? Who care about using the language wrong or not? Beginning, if they even unclear the sound, it's already good. And this is what Julia tried to bring out, all about the rhythm, the symmetry, and then yes, the major spirals and the fluted columns. It feel almost more like a musician, in the repetition. That which make them maybe calm and excited to create in the same time, I guess. So, and because of these patterns often tell stories, especially in Greek cultures, it's a lot about the heroes and also like a natural thing. So maybe kids will feel like they will be a part of something Asian and meaningful, and even they will doodle or paint. That would be a nice way. Try to learn all kind of technique that Gulya brought in the past, like collage or all those different things, flex to volume workshop. Maybe they combine and make it more lively and more like playful as well. So, talking about playful, so how can children benefit from recreating these ancient designs on their own playful way?
Yeah, children can benefit in several meaningful ways from recreating ancient Greek designs in their own playful way. For example, reimagining these patterns, children develop their imagination and artistic expression and learning to add their personal touch to timeless designs. And recreating patterns and shapes helps improve hand-eye coordination, precious and control, and exploring Greek designs fosters curiosity about history and different cultures, and maybe improve their understanding of the world and history, and working with repetitive motifs and geometric shapes enhances their ability to recognize patterns, symmetry, and proportions, which are foundational skills in art and also in math. maybe it can also help them in school subjects. And approaching Asian designs in a playful way makes learning fun and boosting their confidence and their willingness to experiment without fear of making mistakes, and engaging with detailed patterns encourage concentration and mindfulness, and helping children develop patience and attention to detail. Like overall, recreating these designs allows children to connect with history creatively, develop essential skills, and enjoy the process of artistic discovery in a playful and meaningful way.
It really is nice because we always learn from repeating practice out, right? So by creating great designs, have children develop the focus and patience as well, because if they want to join in this workshop, it requires them some certain patient attention to new informations, and especially as they trace of building the pattern step by step. But it's also like a sparse creativity that when they add their own twist, like just Gulya just say, that they're not only learning a new thing about Greek, they also across with the Asian as well. So that's a combination that they can add with their own knowledge already inside that they know. So they're not just only copying the history, they are reading it into their own life, into their own styles. And that blend of the discipline and imagination builds a deeper appreciation of the culture's heritage, because we all know the Greek always have very depth in the culture, and it showcases that art is both a skill and a story. That really nice way that the perspective that Gula bring out for us. So and for parents, yes, so what is the best way to encourage the children to not just copy, but make their own patterns?
Yes, for parents, encouraging children to go beyond, not copying, and makes their own style, just going deeper in our topic and try to make something in this style, but maybe their own plots. It is really important, and here are some effective moments which parents should practice, as I think it is asking open-ended question, for example, not give strict instruction, but just asking. Can be, for example, what colors would you like to add, or how can you change this pattern to make it more unique, like in your own style? Maybe you should think. Next, instead of a question, we can share personal stories or ideas. Just share, talk about how you might modify or add to the pattern, sharing your own creative ideas. These models a playful and open attitude toward art, inspiring children to do the same or something also open. And we should provide freedom and flexibility, that children choose their colors, shapes, and variations, and emphasize that there is no right way. Encourage them to explore and express their personality through their designs. And we should celebrate originality. We should praise their unique ideas and efforts, and highlighting what makes their work special. And we should create a really supportive environment, offer materials and space for free experimentation with without pressure. That's why I usually take one table with all materials in the middle of our classroom, and I say you can move easily. You shouldn't ask me, can I stand up or sit down or going or take these colors or take other materials. You can make everything what you want for making your artwork. And I never give them materials to each kid, so they are each not taking to their each tables. I just offer them stand up and choose by themselves.
Yeah, to give them the freedom to choose is really nice. And not only that, with your idea to mix in old motifs with the personal colors, modern stories, each is such a beautiful approach, in my opinions. And the parent can invite kids to imagine what a Greek face would like. For example, giving just like an open just open questions. Let them like give their own thoughts into that instead of giving the direct instructions. And that's really nice because it might be tell them their own story by suggesting them maybe like a symbol from their daily life, maybe the favorite animal, the favorite color that they choose, and then family traditions. For example, if they often like hang out at the football field during the weekends, why not to put them into paintings because that's their own life, and that really nice way to approach. So even something simple like choosing kind of an expected color or adding playful characters turn the activity into very personal expressions. And it's not only about perfection, like Gulya just said, it's about the connections. And again, as a parent, maybe we instead of give them like instructions into art, I think it's a really nice way to encourage them instead of let them let them just listen into their own heart. What color they want, what pattern that they want to make. Or even it doesn't have to be patterns. If it's a dog and next to it is a cat, why not, right? Even like if it is a dog, the green dog, and then we have the next one will be like a purple one. Why not? And that would be nice when we allow them to be themselves, to do without the parent instructions or without kind of form that they have to do in some certain way. Because like we say in art, it's nothing in right or wrong. So thank you so much. That's really nice. That's what we should do. So the second topic we also will talk about, let's see about the myths. Because when you're talking about Greek, we all know about beyond of it. They full of myths. So now we can dive a little bit deeper inside that because when Gulya choosing this topic, I kind of hesitate to choose again the follow up the topic, follow up story for this live stream because I also want to sharing my opinions, also like what benefit that we bring out, and when we talk about Greek. So as a host, I have to think something coming up related with this workshop. And it just hesitate me kind of a lot to writing about this. But yes, I want to introduce about what children can learn from the Greek myth as well for the workshop today. So because we know like a beyond art, as ancient Greece is full of stories and myths are still told today. We learn a lot of story, and but why are they really important for children? That is something that we will discuss further. So that's such a thoughtful point. Also, that's how Gulya bring up the idea of it. So I want to hear from you first. So if you think about Greek, what is the first thing that come up to your mind?
Yeah. Greek myths are really fundamental part of Western culture history, and I remember that when I a little bit grow up from really young age, my favorite book was Greek myths, and it was really different than what I read or hear before. It was really so rich stories, so different and colorful. It was really my big and very colorful impression from my childhood, and I think that learning these stories helps children understand and the roots of many ideas, many values and traditions that influence the world today. And I think that also many myths contain lessons about virtues like bravery, honesty, kindness, and the stories serve as engaging ways to teach children about right and wrong. And Greek myths are rich with fantastical characters, gods, and monsters, and full of adventures. All of these things kids usually likes very much, and they inspire children's imagination, encouraging creative storytelling, drawing, and even maybe role playing. And myths explore universal themes such as love, jealousy, pride, fear. They help children understand human emotions and behaviors, and fostering empathy and self-awareness. And first time I not read. I remember that I asked my parents read to me all these myths, and sometimes I met something that I not understand, some new words, and listening or reading myths also it's so it makes our imagination so rich and wide. Listening or reading myths I mean in exactly ancient Greece myths, maybe it will be adapted for there are now I sometimes met adapted booked for adapted myths from different cultures, and it is adapted for sometimes even young ages. And listening and reading this kind of literature, it helps make our vocabulary more rich, our comprehension, storytelling skills more rich and wide. Yeah, I think that myths also contain complex of characters and moral dilemmas, maybe encouraging children to think about different perspectives of choices, of their choices. Mm-hmm.
That's really nice. As a Vietnamese, I'm gonna say I grew up with a lot of myths in Vietnamese too. And to be honest, like if we compare between like a Vietnamese and Greek myths, I'm gonna say even we come from vastly different cultures, but they share some surprisingly deeply common threads together. So these similarities flex into the universal human questions about the origins, morality, naturals, and the powers. And yes, for example, like I don't know, I think maybe in your culture the same similar stories. If you remember, it's kind of like creations from the like kind of creation myths from the chaos. For example, like um, it's just like Greek in Greek, the beginning they have a lot of there was a chaos, a void from which is Gaia, the earth, and then sky that we have like a Uranus, and others is primordials begin emerge together. It's exactly the same way with the Vietnamese stories we call it lạc long Quân and ochre. Actually, it's called like a Vietnamese mortars. If you go into like a Phạm Văn Đồng beach, you will have the big statue. They call ochre mortars in Vietnamese. Is it the first Vietnamese mortars that in the story myth, and it's similar with the cows. Story with the Greek together, because actually like they are talking about like the both cultures talking about like the world emerging from the mysteries and the elemental forces, and often through like a divine unions, because with Lạc Long Quân and Ochre, it tells the story of a dragon and the fairy who birthed the Vietnamese people, with the symbolizing harmony between the land and the sea, that they have 100 kids, and then they have to divide 50 to the father and 50 to the mom, and they both, one goes up to the mountain and the other go to the sea, because you know Vietnam have a long coast, but we also have a lot of mountain around. So that's it, the stories. Couple of the story really coming up in my mind that the Greek also have. Is it talking about like how to say heroes, we should say the hero truths that rising from the humble origins of facing such a like a supernatural force and the protection to the homeland. In Vietnam we have Thánh Giống, and actually in Greek we have like a Heracles pursues, and they are fighting against the monsters and undergo trials to prove their strengths and virtues. And that's kind of thing really similar. Or Gulya to bring out that Greek love talking about gods. And they have Dementors for the harvest. They also have for the sea. I think the name is called like Poseidon, and that's just sorry, can you say the name? You know the name of it?
Like Poseidon. I don't know how exactly pronounce in English. Like more in Russian, like Poseidon. Yeah, like this. Yeah, the god of seas and oceans, right?
Yes. I don't know. Maybe in English they call Poseidon, but I don't know. Again, I'm using the Vietnamese combination with English. So I'm still learning English every day, so sorry for that. So anyway, so this is like the story of it is really nice because it's about the natural of device and the symbolic. Vietnamese we have a lot of things like that. We have something written myth talking about the mountains, the river, the trees are often sacred. And that's like where the god represent the mountain and the water. And same with this god, they are represent for the harvest and the seed. And natural isn't just a scenery, but it's alive and it's very powerful and deeply tied to the human fate. And that's really nice. That's one of the reasons like in Vietnam we have a lot of story, the myth like that, the fairy tales that that's the reason when we're talking about Greek, I just like I want to bring out the myth from this because they have different cultures, but such some ways somehow in some way they still have a lot of same stories. So the kids still telling nowadays, and maybe in Russian the same, right? So
yeah, we have more fairy tales. It's not like a myth. It's a little bit different, like literature genre. But yeah, we have also some not God. Yeah, maybe God. And unfortunately, I know that many literature about many myths about Asian god isn't it disappeared because there are maybe wars and something like this. And yeah, we have some historical writings or some episodes of it, but not full sometimes. And yes, we have fairy tales, but maybe it's not ancient. It's a little bit closer. Maybe I don't know which centuries, but yeah, maybe more modern than
Mhm.
more modern.
Yes, Russian culture also very interesting, special. I'm gonna say special the jazz. I watch a movie. That's I think the name of the movie is The Queen, and they're also talking about the lady about that. But they brief really nice. It's about the jazz, and I'm gonna say like maybe one day, Julia, we come up with something about this topic as well. But we come back here because talking about Russian come up to my mind is about jazz, and also palette. Their palette performance is just such beauty. I'm gonna say, and because I was in the theaters a lot, and also when I was in Europe, I came into the theater to see a lot of like palettes performance, and they are from Russians. It's so beautiful. So maybe one day we're coming up again. So we will stick back into this topic. Um, yes. So how can this myth inspire children's imagination today?
Mhm. Yeah, I think that when kids hear these stories, these myths, they see themselves in heroes and challenges, and they feel how they feel and think how they will acting in this kind of adventures, and myths spark curiosity and empathy, and I think it inspired them very much. And when they see visual things of this culture, it's also can inspire because it's really different and colorful, and you should be like a master in some moments. Yeah, it's for sure inspire them
Mm-hmm.
very much.
Yes, exactly. For kids, I'm gonna say when they are in early age, they want to be a hero.
Yes.
That's why we have a lot of heroes movie for kids, like a Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Heroes in the real life, right? Um, Hollywood, they will custom themselves, such as like any kind of heroes that they proud of. And that is something that I think maybe for them is nice to imagination themselves will be a hero, right? And Greek, they have a tons of heroes or characters similar like that. The people just look up, like that kind of powerful in yourself. You have kind of like a mystery energy power that you can do some certain thing. And that's kind of funny thing because they are not learning about story. They're learning the value that if you're talking about heroes, they are good person. A hero, the good person. They fight for the country. They fight for human generals. They're not like doing like a bad thing, like a criminal thing normally. So, it's, nowadays have a lot of modern movie talking about hero doing some strange thing, but that's it nowadays. But when we learn about very basic traditionals in the past histories, we're talking about hero, we're talking about a good people here, and that's it. That's something I think for the kids they will learn about those values, and that brings us for our next segment as well. So, what the lesson children can take from this myth? So, first of all, if we're talking about heroes, so you think like what lessons can children learn from?
Yeah, I think that they can learn more about courage, wisdom, respect for balance, and learning how they can learn from mistakes. I think all of these things, and they can learn from myths and from these stories about ancient heroes.
Mhm. Yeah, that really I'm gonna say if you learn about heroes, you learn about how to behave in certain way because with hero, you're not just like doing bad thing. the courage in themselves, some certain respects, because those are something. And the funny thing here is heroes also doing something that we call not wrong thing, but we say a mistake. Also make mistake. That is the correct way to say, and learn from mistake. So maybe in these lessons, children can learn more about their own mistake. They're not afraid to do those, and they're not afraid to just only like how to say afraid of doing something because they're afraid of making mistake. And that's gonna be something that it's maybe something for kids to take away, that sometimes they mess up things, and it's about the responsibility as well. And what matters is how we take the responsibility and work to make things right again. And that's, I think, it teaches the kids about the strengths with the responsibility. With fairy tale, we also learn about wisdom, the fairness, and it's kind of like maybe being kind, being smart, is powerful as well. And they don't have to be like the loudest or strongest to make a difference. Like we don't have to make a lot of noise sometimes. You try to play it out in the smartest way. You try to behave kindly with people. I think with me, kids can learn a lot, because that's why we grow up. In Vietnam, we grow up. And even with in the school, we learn a lot of like literatures with a lot of myths inside that. And every single of them, we learn some things. I'm gonna say like special in Vietnam's. For myself, I think from the myths, we kind of find how to say, try kind of like a balance between the freedom and the passions. And for example, like we can dream beautiful things, of course, but we need to learn about the guidance, the boundaries to stay safe. And that's gonna be something that I feel like kids always have a big dreams as well, but how you can make the dream become true by listening to the advice and knowing your limits. Help yourself. Have you can be way stronger and can make the dream happen. And those kind of things for me, like the kids can learn a lot of them from this kind of stories from great bring up. And because as I say, like in Vietnam, we have a lot of similar stories. The name is completely different. They might using some kind of like simple like different things, but the idea inside is really similar. I do not know if you know any like the Vietnamese folk tales.
No, but I see in bookstore that there are really big and a few bookshelves with only myths and traditional Vietnamese local myths, and I was really impressed because it was so many not big but very thin books with. Only one story or one myth in it, but there were many, and I was really impressed how many myths you have.
We do have every single thing, because we also have depth in the culture as well. Yes,
and I understand that it's something like closer to me because the pictures, the characters, they were in like Asian clothes, and yes, it looks like me.
If you kind of slowly seeing those kind of story, the thing book you see, maybe some of them very old one, the way how they draw in the past, also very interesting with the way how the Greek myths present themselves on the book. So how Vietnamese folk tales present their own illustrations that are really interesting. And yes, I'm gonna say like that's the one thing that I'm trying to also Gulya is trying to work on that we try to create a small book areas for the kid to learn. And
Very close.
yes, we you can see here is it very close on the shelf already have some books. I think is it the final one, right? Are you still working on the area?
Yes.
So it's not finished yet.
Yeah, we should add books which our friends will send. Yeah, already sent for us, deliver. So I really happy that our small library grows.
That's very nice, yes. And I myself also trying to send there not only about Vietnamese children book. We also try to send all different things specials here. I got the donation from the library as well. Thanks to the local library. That I often go there, and we did sharing the book. So I brought the children book from Vietnam to the library, and they give me a lot of book. And yeah, that's kind of thing that maybe in the future we can see you at that area, so we learn more about cocktails, right? So now we talk this, we're talking about a lot of stories, and yes, this is a lot to learn from stories. The connections are a lot of Vietnamese folk tales. I'm gonna say like it's about the nature a lot as well. About how we develop, how we how to say how we believe in God. We have all different kind of God, same with Greek, and we also learning about how to behave in some certain way and how we can correct our own mistake and not afraid to doing that because we everyone have to learn from somewhere, and the more we learn we will adjust by ourselves, we will improve it in the better way. So yes, so which story do you remember most from your childhood, Gulya, in Russian?
You mean from Greek?
Yes.
Yeah, Greek. Of course, first of all, it's many heroes action of Hercules. I'm not. Yeah, I also not sure that my pronunciation of the Hercules. Yeah, Hercules is the most close pronunciation, and also Icarus, because this story about Icarus, because this story we also read in our school. Maybe it's one of the most popular story Greek myth about a young man who want to fly, and he tried to fly too high because he was maybe too much self-confident in this, and he forget everything he forget about. He don't listen his father's advices, and he was really he think only about his wish, and he forget about everything else.
Yeah, that. And how about all of you guys? I think this will be bring up our childhood memory right now. Like I told you, a lot of the story, small story that I said. So that really nice and when getting more fun. But children will not just only sit there and listen to story. One funny thing that we also try to develop is a make themselves. as well. And that's why beginnings of the workshop, normally Gulya, we're starting with telling story. But of course, kid will not just sit there for hours for you to just telling story. Maybe I think like most of the time it will be 30 minutes. That is the longest one already. And even that you have to combine a lot of activity like singing, dancing, moving, bubble, everywhere, because I was in a lot of story time, so I know how it's run. For example, like now in the children's gallery at Farm Tree, so it's easier to handle. But for example, like I brought my daughter to the library for the storytelling, and that will be like when she was 6 months, I guess. So it's still easy because she just lay there. In 6 months, you're not really allowed you to draw at 30 minutes. And sometimes we have to get back home earlier because of course she getting like fan away, sleepy, need to eat. 6 months still easy. Coming to 8 months, slowly challenging. Coming to like 1 year, oh my god, she went everywhere in the room. The people, the tellers just say whatever over there, singing. Even that, my kids still not pay enough attention on that. She ran away, she pulling out the teddy, she grappled from other places, moving chair around, pointing me. And yes, kids will not just sit there to just listen to your stories. And indeed, a lot of kids will, when it's finished the story, they will say, more, but more of them is not the same story. More of them is giving me a story. Otherwise, they will get bored. And how we can handle this situation. That's why where we will learn more with Gulya.
Yeah, that's why when I introduce some topic, I usually adapt it. I never explain or tell them in try to make it more interesting with pictures, with games. Sometimes I ask them more than tell them, and try to ask them talk more. And we have games with some small prizes, like for example we have before plastic diamonds, and when they answer correctly, I gave them these diamonds, and they were really happy. And with games, with really very adapted stories. You should take only interesting facts to share, better with pictures or some videos, sometimes also with music. Or sometimes I show them samples with like video and music, and it's also inspire them to make go to second part, making art. Yeah, we have first part every time. We have first part when we talk or play or watching or reading, and then we make art. Because if I will just explain, just telling stories, they have so too much energy, and it should escape from them, so they can't sit and listen.
Yes, that will be hard to deliver to split out the energy of the kids. So how can we do it? I haven't done any workshop by myself, so of course, this is how the better follow with Gulya direction more than me, because as again, I'm not the host of the workshop. I do give in the lesson for the children, but that's completely different. And I never deal with the kid too young. My youngest one will be 5 years old, and in that age already like really easy. But even that for me, I have a kid at home by myself, and I attend to a lot of workshops. Even for myself, I always like honor how all the teacher, the storyteller do at the libraries or in the museums, because That's a hard work with the kids, and easy about the responsibility. That's a high responsibility over there because you have to select the right group of words you have to speak with the kid, and in some certain age they might already have their own like imaginations about the word as well, and that is something is really hard to handle those. Yes, so we're talking about the topic here with Miss. So why do Miss work so well with combination arts activity for children?
Why? Yeah, myth works so well when combined with art activities for children because they engage multiple senses and learning styles, making the stories more memorable and meaningful. And some reasons I will try to count it. For example, enhance imagination and creativity, and makes stories more engaging, and supports different learning styles and build emotional connection. Maybe encourages cultural appreciation. If speaking in summary, integrating myths with art activities makes storytelling more interactive and memorable and meaningful, and helping children develop both their cognitive and creative skills while fostering a love for stories and cultural heritage.
Yes, I also believe that children will learn better to making something when they deliver their energy in different parts when they are busy on hand, they're busy on their brain, they're busy on their eyes because they have to do a lot of observations. That will be something that make them even calm because they start to know how to deliver their energy because kids always high energy. And as a parent, we always believe that our kids have the most energetic kids in all of the world, like full of beings. We say that way. And is it true that our kids always like the most high energy kids in the world? It might be true, but I think general talking about kids, they just have so much energy that they haven't learned about how to deliver or how to split the energy into different things to do yet. And this is one of the way to have kids to calm themselves, to be busy with, to warn them out, to get them tired with. And that is something I really for me like some certain days, especially on the day that I'm really tired, I would love my daughter will have the same that kind of energy like okay, you just have to calm, you have to do something. That's why I often like if I'm tired, my play will bring my kid to the gym or the library so they are busy with something or the children museum because they doing through the stuff. And here we have drawing. It could be like heroes. They can learn about patterns. They inventing their own pattern. Retelling the stories by visualizing. So why do the myths work so well when combined with art activities for children?
Myths work so well with combined with art activities for children because they engage many senses and learning styles, making the stories more memorable and meaningful. And here some key reasons I can count maybe it, for example, enhances imagination and creativity. I mean that myths are rich with fantastical characters, god monsters, and settings, and when children illustrate or craft scenes from these stories, it sparks their imagination and encourages creative expression, and also more more deep understanding when we creating visual or tactical representations helps children grasp complex themes, morals, and characters more deeply than just listening or reading. It transforms abstract idea into concrete and personal experiences and makes stories more engaging. I mean that art activities turn myths into active, hands-on experiences, and instead of passively hearing a story, children become like participants, and which increases engagement or enjoyment, and supports different learning styles. Some children learn best through visual and kinesthetic activities, and combining myth with art caters to these styles, and making the stories accessible and appealing to a wider range of learners, and maybe builds emotional connection. Creating art related to myth allows children to connect emotionally with the stories, and fostering empathy and personal reflection on the morals and lessons embedded in the myth. And in summary, integrating myths with art activities makes storytelling more interactive, more memorable, meaningful, helping children develop both their cognitive and creative skills while fostering a love for stories and cultural heritage.
Yes, the kids can learn a lot through this kind of activities. And again, when kids doing something, they learn how to deliver it, how to say, forgot being like impatient, forgot that the strong willing that they want to get something. When they do something, they forgot about all of the needs that they want at that moment, and then they can do way better. As also like they automatically adapt to the new situation instead of like sitting in front of the book and open the book like this is 1 + 1 is 2, and when throwing something, maybe something fun for them, right? So that will be something really interesting. So as a parent, you also have kids, and you also like I think you also discuss with the parents a lot. So how can we bring myths into everyday parenting in a fun way?
The most simple ways it can be just reading, bedtime, myths, and acting them out, or drawing simple versions together. And maybe sometimes you can compare, for example, some everyday situation with morals from myths which you already know together and read before. You can compare and ask to think and compare themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you so much for your sharing about all of these informations. I think even we learned about Greek, right? We started Greek, and then now we end up with like how the parents can using like a storytelling's way, with telling a lot of fairy tales. Folk tales, myths, all different things depend on your cultures, or all the funny story times before bed, for example. Um, yes, thank you, Gulya. Before we end this live stream, as we say, we're starting up with Greek. Would you mind to tell us again how can we join into your workshop?
Yeah, first of all, the time and day. Our classes are usually on every Sundays from 9 till 11 a.m. And your parents can just message us to our Facebook page. Just let us know that you plan to come. We are welcome for all kids. Meet you here every Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. All the workshop also for free for everyone to join. Please come and enjoy your time at our place. We have a lot of ways to support it. Bring your kid to learn about a new histories of art. We have Greek ancients, and then we also gonna have a lot of fun there because kids will not only playing or maybe attending to the workshop. They also will listen to Gulya story telling times. I believe that she will have story times as well at the play beginning of it. What she often does, the bonding, the connection between the parents and the kid together, the moment of the family enjoy doing something together. You always can join us and support us in a lot of ways, in different ways. Either you can just subscribe us on the YouTube channels, follow us on the live stream, leave us some comments, some questions related to any theme that you think is might be interesting for you as a parent or as a teacher. The way how we can bring art into like the kids' life, how we able to run this kind of workshop. You can give directly the question to Gulya. That with a lot of help if you also able to share this live stream to a lot of other local people to know about us. Donation we also can do with like we have a GoFundMe page. You can donate directly to the page or just come into our tea shop below on the ground floor. We have a tea shop that you able to just donate us a little bit by taking the drink at our place. Every single cup it will be directly used to fund the workshop for free for kids. So again, even just come to attending is already a nice thing because you already support us by the fact that you spend your time and visit us. So today, see you on Sunday at the workshops and the next Thursday on the live streams as well. So from VNCE, is good night to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.